Pdub report, week 4. We're back, and it was a monster week. Big time Sunday, big time Thursday night football last week. My man Scott with the plus 500 long shot prop for you guys. We got more of those for you today. We did have a rough Monday. It was a big Monday last week, rough Sunday. It's the inverse of that this week. What is it now, Scott? 9-6 so over the last 10 days or so in NFL.
Yeah, 9-6 overall, and we're always transparent with you guys. That's something that Ben and I take a lot of pride on. So we had a nice 9-3 Thursday, Sunday. Then we come into Monday, we go 0-3 and really bite the bullet there. But I want to make something very clear to you guys. We won 29 units last week. That's big. $100 better. They made 2,900.
Huge.
We lose 7 units on Monday, right? Long-term game. We lose 700 to the $100 better. Overall, plus 2,200 to the $100 better. And everybody's happy. So we're not going to win every day. I want to make that very clear. But our goal is to win long-term. And that's what we've been doing in this NFL season, baby. Fired up.
Yeah, big plays over the weekend. The Big Ten unit elite play. That was with the Philadelphia Eagles. That man, Saquon Barkley. Big credit to the Eagles. All the injuries they had. Obviously, A.J. Brown already out. Then Devontae Smith goes down. It did not matter. They found a way, despite all of Sirianni's bullshit, not willing to kick some field goals in the first half.
His time management was horrible. Honestly, kicking a 60-yard field goal, putting the Saints, who were coming into the game, the best offense in the NFL by far.
Yep.
Right? What they have, it was 9-7 at that point. Sirianni kicks a 60-yard field goal, misses it, puts them at midfield. They come down, they score a tutty. And now the Eagles score in 3-4 plays, which was amazing. Credit to their defense, though. I mean, wow. Holding the Saints to, what, 12? What was it?
12 points. 12 points.
Yeah, 12 points in the game. Unbelievable showing by their defense. Great spot. I loved the play. We went 10 units, play of the month. Love it. Cashed it. And we broke them.
Yeah, Philly's defense, very interesting. They give up a lot of yardage, a lot of issues, but in the Green Bay game and then in this game against New Orleans, they just don't give it up in the red zone. We saw it in the game against Green Bay. They had 2 turnovers on their side of the field. One of them put the Packers right in the red zone, and it didn't matter. They still held them down. So big credit to that defense, very much so, and not break, and they didn't break. Big part of that 9-6 week 3. Let's just talk some more about this week 3. What a week, and really what an NFL season. It's been a crazy start. First time in NFL history, the biggest dog in each week has won. We saw week 1 with the Patriots upsetting the Bengals, and week 2 with the Bucks upsetting the Lions, and week 3, again, the Bengals as they lose outright to Jaden Daniels, big coming out party for some of these younger quarterbacks. All with Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, and Andy Dalton turning back the clock in Carolina. Lots to go over. Scott, what really impressed you this past week?
Bro, I mean, the red rifle. How do you ignore that, bro? I mean,
who's crazy enough to give him on a survivor pick? Who would do that? Who would do something?
I don't know. Some guy with the initials BA, maybe. I don't know here, but wow, bro. Red Rifle comes in and just leads them. I know it's the Raiders. We talked about it again. I have them under 4.5 wins, but still, he comes in and I mean, really he's just a leader. I mean, beautiful performance by him. 319 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks, just a passer rating of only 123. Impressive. I loved him, and I said it last week on the show. He's a leader, man. He's been around the game, and he just did what he does. What do you do now in Carolina? Like, what do you do?
Oh, it's a disaster situation. I mean, as far as Bryce Young's confidence has probably never been lower in his life after watching Andy Dalton absolutely blow him out. And yeah, I don't know what you do because you have this number 1 pick. You traded DJ Moore and Caleb Williams for it, essentially. You got to kind of try to think you could develop him. But, I mean, realistically speaking, you got to imagine any type of confidence for success for Young in Carolina is not there. And what, his trade value is non-existent at this point? I mean, there's got to be a few teams lurking around.
I don't know. I mean, again, I told you guys last week I'm not high on Bryce Young. I mean, most aren't at this point, or Caleb Williams. And we'll get into Mr. Caleb Williams a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, a little bit later. Some of those other crazy upsets. I mean, Denver, a little bit of a letdown, I guess you could say. Or not Denver, Tampa Bay, a little bit of a letdown. And then Denver, Bo Nix coming off with his best game yet with the Denver Broncos. The defense forced some turnovers. Going to be an interesting kind of a sandwich spot for Tampa Bay. They had the playoff revenge against the Lions, get the win. Now they come back, get blown out. And then they get the Eagles, who they knocked out of the playoffs last year. So weird scheduling for the Bucs. You more impressed by the Broncos in that game or a little bit more worried about Tampa Bay in that one?
So I'm creeping up high on the Broncos. Like, look at these games. 26-20 loss to the Seahawks and Mike McDonald, which again I talked about in episode 1. Love where the Seahawks are at, and they're 3-0. Week 2, we go lose 13-6 to the Steelers, another close battle, and then you come in and dominate on the road to the 2-0 Bucks. I mean, the Broncos have a little something going on. Is Bo Nix for real here? I don't know, man. Putting on a little bit of a show.
Yeah, a couple of young QBs look good. Jaden Daniels Monday night. I mean, Cincinnati, talk about time to panic. 0-3 to start the season. You just can't lose that game at home. And if you told me that the Bengals lose twice as an 8-point favorite at home, I would have told you you're crazy, but it's happened. And you got to give credit to some of these young quarterbacks starting to figure it out now in week 3.
Yeah, it's impressive. And boom, boy, Pdub took it on the chin in the Survivor Series with the Bengals, knocked me straight out. And almost at the entire field. Just on that note, 642 people left in Circus Survivor out of almost 15,000 entries. Disgusting performance by the community and the public in the Survivor Series. But yes, I mean, he's been impressive. 21 of 23, Jaden Daniels. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Marvin Harrison Jr. We got a battle there, but wow, that was impressive on the road in Cincinnati. Kudos to him. I enjoyed watching him play. I really did.
It's a lot of the craziness from week 3, guys. We got bad beat of the week. San Francisco 49ers, 2-touchdown lead in that game against the Rams. This is the first time in the Kyle Shanahan era they were 50-0 against anybody when they had a 2-touchdown lead in the second half. And next thing you know, Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay, no weapons, everyone hurt, no O-line, everyone's banked up. Doesn't matter. They willed a way to get a win, prevent the 0-3. Bad beat. I'm sure a lot of people had Niners and some money line parlays, everything else. Granted, they're banged up as well, but crazy win there for the Rams. Bad beat for some parlays and probably survivor pools as well.
Super concerning for the Niners, though. Yes, they're beat up, right? But Purdy plays outstanding. 3 tutties, 292 yards passing, truly leads the team. A little concerning on Shanahan. Some bad clock management at the end. Some bad play calling, in my opinion, at the end as well. I don't know. 1-2 Niners. I mean, I was high on the Niners. I mean, week 2, they crushed me. I mean, when they lost at Minnesota. So what are we doing here, San Francisco? Are we going to have a bounce back week? I mean, they're a 10-point favorite this week. They should handle business. But there's some concerns in San Francisco for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of the issue with Shanahan a little bit, right? Obviously, he was the OC in that matchup there in Atlanta and the famous 28-3 comeback against Brady in the Super Bowl. And then twice now against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, blew a lead as well. Definitely a little bit of some coaching issues going on with the Niners there.
100%. Like, I don't know. I mean, when's McCaffrey supposed to get back? Do you know? What's his deal?
So apparently he just flew to Germany this past week to get a closer look at the ankle. They're saying 6 to 8 weeks. I feel like it might be coach speak. I feel like it might be a little bit longer than that. And in my opinion, I mean, if you're that caliber of an athlete in the United States, you're going to have good access to medical care. You are only going to Germany to get a second, third opinion if you're trying to push it back from, hey, doctors are telling me I'm not going to be able to play till January and I want to get in November. So going to be interesting to see. But apparently 6 to 8 weeks, I'm not buying it.
I know. At the end of the day, though, Mason's no slouch. Jawan Jennings had a massive game as well. So they do have some other weapons as well, the Niners. Should have taken care of business. Bad coaching, in my opinion. Move on to week 4. Let's see if they can get back to even 2-2.
Yeah, we can kind of keep it on the Niners a little bit in this next segment here. We got a couple of 5 3-0 teams. Chiefs and Bills, obviously favorites to win their division, as they should be. But we have 3 3-0 teams here who are not favored to win their division. We have the Seattle Seahawks, who are plus 190. Still have the Niners, who are minus 105 to win the division. You have the Minnesota Vikings, who are plus 195 at 3-0. And you have the Detroit Lions, who are 2-1 at plus 145. And the other one we have is the Pittsburgh Steelers, currently plus 200 to win the division at 3-0. It is the Ravens, who are plus 115. Of any of those three, do you see a chance where they actually hold on to this division lead that they've opened up to?
Bro, I'm loving the Vikings. Sam Darnold, it seems like he's been in the league forever. The guy's been in the league 7 years. He's only 27 years old. I mean, he's looking like a true leader out there. The Vikings look like a force. I mean, I'm impressed with the Vikings. I think they can win the division. I really do. I mean, I know it's easier to say that at this point when they're 3-0, but watching them and execute, I love it. Their third down execution has been phenomenal. I like what I'm seeing in the Vikings. I really do think they have a chance of winning this division.
Yeah, and I did not. I knew their defense was going to be solid, but I did not have the Vikings defense being arguably the most well-rounded and best in the NFL through 3 weeks of the season. And they have been against the run and the pass. Town off obviously with the Texans, how good they are at taking care of the football didn't matter. They still found a way to force turnovers against Houston. Just well-rounded offense and defense right now. Vikings looking scared. I agree with you there. I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers on this one. Very high on the Steelers. Yeah, I love that Steelers defense. Arguably the best defense as well. That's kind of the same thing with Minnesota, how they got into this 3-0. But the thing with Pittsburgh is obviously I've talked about it a lot. The front-loaded schedule they have at the back end, they get all these other teams. Bengals aren't looking as scary anymore. Cleveland definitely not looking as scary anymore. Baltimore, I think they got right against Dallas, and they're going to start turning in the right direction. But at the end of the day, I mean, they still have an easy schedule for the next 6 weeks. They have a chance to go 8-2, 9-1. And then they get into the back end with some of these other opponents. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of tough division games. But, if the Bengals are at a point in their season where they're, 3-8 or whatever it might be at that point, do you, maybe rest Jamar Chase? Do you give Joe Burrow some slacks? Whatever it could be, I definitely think the Steelers' chances are getting better and better just because of the underperformance from Cincinnati and Cleveland. I thought both those teams would be a lot more impressive here 3 weeks through the season.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from that, but they're still the Steelers, bro. They don't have a lot of weapons. Their defense is obviously their defense, but can they put the ball in the end zone if they do get into a little bit of one of these stronger offensive teams that they play? We'll see. Time will tell, but I'm not as high on the Steelers as you. I can see why you are, but obviously the Bengals and the Browns struggles give them a little bit of a leg up.
Steelers go 4-0, just so you guys know, take them against Colts. But anyways,
hey, what
on to the next one. We got Survivor pick. So Carolina got it done for me. We touched on that already and how Cincinnati gave a little slap to the face of Scott. See if we can keep it rolling, though. I'm coming with the Survivor pick. It's got to be the Chicago Bears. What they did in this past week, they did not look the best against the Indianapolis Colts, but they looked better. And Caleb Williams looked better. And you have this Rams team. We just touched on an absolute massive letdown spot. Now have to go travel. You have the fact that, they're already missing a bunch of O-line pieces. They're still missing their 2-star wide receivers. And now they're going to be coming off a tough game against a divisional rival, which they had no business winning. And fun fact for you, it's only been one game, but Caleb Williams has never lost a home game in his NFL career. So they're going to stay undefeated and go 2-0 in Chicago this season.
Oh, man. Hey, we got to give props where props is due. Remind me, Seahawks week 1? Is that what it was?
Yep. Seahawks week 1, Steelers week 2, Carolina week 3. I have yet to use heavy crazy chalk and throw the Bears in there as well. That's not crazy chalk as well. I'll be happy to get Caleb Williams and his painted nails out of the way here.
Hey, you guys should all be giving Ben the business right now. He didn't enter the Circus Survivor. We were in Vegas together. We had the opportunity to enter. He did not. He would have the strongest position to win $14 million out of all 642 entries left. So you guys give him some shit because he deserves it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it hurts I'm not in that pool right now. 14 million would be really nice, but I guess I'll take a few pats on the back from you guys in the comments. So if you guys want to do that'll have to do instead of 14 milli.
Hey, real quick, I'm already eliminated from the Survivor, but we're gonna pick one anyway, right? And I'm gonna go with a big dog today. The Jacksonville Jaguars, my free pick of the week, bro. This is going to be a great, incredible showing for the 0-3 Jaguars, who just got dismantled on Monday Night Football against the Bills and looked completely awful. They look like a low college football, maybe a high school football team. Lawrence looks like he should be benched. I like him this week, guys. A lot of value for me on the Jags. They're going to come out. The whole world is not going to be on the Jags. The only man is going to be the lone standing man is going to be your boy right here. They're going to come out and get the job done. If they don't win the game, okay, but they're definitely covering. Just saying. Yeah,
I agree with you on that read there as far as the spread. And I have an inkling they do win this game. Marcus just overreacted. The spread coming in a couple of weeks ago, this line was 3.5. They get killed by Buffalo. They're 0-3. And now that line's gone all the way up 6.5, even 7 at a lot of spots now. Crazy movement there, overreaction by the market 100%. And I agree. It's going to be a tough divisional matchup. Texans, they kind of got their dicks kicked in against Minnesota, and we'll see if Trevor Lawrence is able to muster something up here. I mean, 0-4 starts brutal. Doug Peterson's on the hot seat. Lawrence is on the hot seat. Definitely a get-right situation for the Jags.
Oh, yeah, they're coming to play. And the Texans, I mean, they got a few holes, right? A lot of people high on the Texans, a lot of experts high on the Texans. I think they get exposed this week again. Give me the Jags, baby. Give me the Jags.
On to the next one. Some picks for you guys for week 4. And we're going to get it going with the long shot props. Shout out to my man, Proven. He got it done with Aaron Rodgers on the passing yards plus 500. And I know everybody wants to know what you're cooking up here for week 4 on these long shot props.
Jump if you want. I don't know if you guys saw Mr. Prescott walking out after he's 1-2, telling all the bandwagoners, jump if you want.
Ooh.
I'm on him this week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on him. He's going to come out fired up. I told you last week, Aaron Rodgers had something to prove on Thursday night. What'd he do?
Oh, yeah.
He proved it. He came out. He was phenomenal. Dak Prescott, he threw for what, 390? I think 390 last week.
Yep.
51 pass attempts. He comes out and he's going to be firing the football. I see him at 45 plus pass attempts this week. Give me the over 325 yards passing at plus 450. Lock it in, baby. Remember, these are long shot props. I've already hit one plus 500, so I'm 1-2, but I'm in the green by far. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not in the green yet. I'm 0 for 3 on my long shot props. Need a get right situation here in week 4, but don't worry. It's a plus 500 play. I hit this. I'm in the green. And I'm going to one of these Sunday games. We're looking at Atlanta versus New Orleans. That man, Alvin Kamara, 2+ touchdowns, plus 500. Now, if you guys looked at the injury report, a little bit worrisome for this prop because you have O-line issues big time for New Orleans. Probably the reason the Eagles were able to stay in that game. 2 O-linemen go down considering one of their best. So definitely some issues here for the Saints. However, I love that for the screen passes and the short yardage checkdowns for Alvin Kamara. Now, obviously, the run game is going to be as prolific with the weak O-line. However, there's going to be a lot of situations Derek Carr needs to dump off and get away out of under pressure, and I like that here. We saw the Chiefs do it left and right against Atlanta this past week. Alvin Kamara in his last 5 games against the Falcons averaged over 100 scrimmage yards, both receiving and rushing. I think he's going to get a lot of touches with that weak O-line, a lot of checkdowns. He's going to be the safety net for Derek Carr. 2+ touchdowns, plus 500, Alvin Kamara.
All right, BA. I've been trusting you in the first 3 weeks. I've rocked with each one of your long shots. Get me in the green, baby. Kamara, 2+ touchdowns. I'm going to ride. I told you I'll ride with you all year. Make me some money, baby. Let's go.
You saved me a little bit last year, A-Rod. So I'm going to – I need Alvin Kamara. If you're watching, help me out. Otherwise, Scott's going to kick my ass a little bit for this. But on to the final segment for you guys, the Civil War game of the week. Scott, you absolutely killed me on Monday night. I was one of those idiots that took the Jags. I thought the Jags were not only going to go cover against Buffalo, they were going to win outright against Buffalo. And that bet lasted a whole 30 seconds into the first quarter, and we were cooked. So we got our first punishment here. We'll get this out of the way. Scott, why don't you go ahead and let them know what top comment was that I got to do here.
Looks like the man. Well, we'll see if Ben can chug actually, but he's got to chug his Smirnoff Ice, little 16-ouncer, tall boy.
Yeah,
let's go.
16-ouncer. This is a red, white, and berry smash. We're getting patriotic here. Before we get into this week's Civil War, I'll honor my punishment. And Scott, while I chug here, why don't you go ahead and let them know what our punishment is going to be here for week 4 coming up. Cheers to the Pdub Nation. Hope you guys are watching. Hope you guys are supporting. And here's a little chug for you guys to honor my commitment here.
All right, so for week 4, we're going Bears, Rams. We'll get into the breakdown here in a second. Look at him go. But we're going to paint, the loser's got to paint his nails and has got to remain on all week for week 4. You know your boy Caleb Williams. I hate the guy. Ooh, that a boy. Ooh. Look at you, man. Did you get any on your shirt? Look at you.
No drippage. That's clean chug right there.
Yeah, we're going to go paint the nails for the week. Got to remain on all week. I hate Caleb Williams. I really do. I think he's a bitch, to be honest. But, yeah, that gets right into our next segment. I'm on the Rams, baby. And, yeah, they're hurt. They're broken. But I love them this week. I hate the Bears. I literally hate the Bears. Listen, I'm going to break it down for you in the most simplest form. McVay and Stafford, 2 vets, know the game, successful in the game, versus Eberflus, I'm going to call him Ever Fool. Hate the guy as a coach. And Caleb Williams. That's the most simplest form. You bet your money on McVay and Stafford or Ever Fool and Caleb Williams with his freaking painted nails. That's all you need to know. But I will add this. The Rams got beat up in the secondary. They got beat up in the secondary. But the Bears have O-line issues. They're not going to. Caleb Williams will not have enough time to get back there and sit back and try to chop up the secondary. Give me the Rams. Are we doing 2.5? Or are we doing 3? I'll give you what I'll money line. Let's go money line.
I mean, we can go money line. I was going to give you the 3 if you want, but hey, I'll take it money line.
No, I don't even want it. Let's go money line. I'm not painting my nails. I'll tell you that. Bring it, Ben. Let's go.
Yeah, money line 2.5, 3. It doesn't matter when the Bears win by double digits. Now, here's the thing. Caleb Williams is a little bitch. I agree with you. But here's the thing about guys who are little bitches. They're petty. And he just saw Jaden Daniels absolutely go off on Monday Night Football. He's seeing everyone talk about, oh, man, the wrong QB went number 1. And he has an opportunity here to go toe-to-toe with the LA Rams and prove why he deserves to be the number 1 pick. Now, his last game was his best performance yet. Threw for over 50 passes, threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, 2 interceptions, bit concerning. All the injuries for the Rams. Have to love the matchup here for the Bears. Bears defense has still been phenomenal against the pass specifically. Excuse me, still burping from the the Smirnoff chug. But Bears defense been really good against the pass. The Rams have issues at offensive line, at wide receiver. The main offensive weapon going to be Karen Williams. Obviously, Bears a little bit of struggle against the rush. But now they know what to game plan for. Should be an opportunity here for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears to stay undefeated at home in 2024. Give me Chicago.
Take a look at it. Should be a low-scoring game, guys. I mean, really take a look at the under. I haven't done a super deep dive on the total, but I mean, it should be really. I mean, I think that both teams are going to have a hard time scoring the football. Give me the Rams though. Plus money. We know we like that plus money. We hit with the Giants last night. The Pdub Nation. Give me that plus money, baby. Rams all day.
Yeah, nice little 5-unit knock there on the Giants last night in MLB. As much as we talk about NFL, guys, next week we will touch on some MLB topics heading into the postseason, World Series, and all those topics. We'll touch on those a little bit next week, so make sure you're tuning back in. Scott, 3 weeks through the NFL season, absolutely crushing it for Pdub Nation. Gotta love it. Let's keep this energy going.
Let's go. 9-6 last week plus 22 units. Let's make it even a better week this week. And you know what we like to say. Let's go.
Pdub Nation.